بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم أرنا حقائق الأشياء كما هي. ربنا زدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر أولياءك في غزة وفي مشارق الأرض ومغاربها، واللهم انصرهم على عدوك بعضهم إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم فرج عنا وعن إخواننا في غزة وفي مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم نفس كربنا وكربنا وثبت أقدامنا وأقدامهم والطف بنا وبهم يا أرحم الراحمين. صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Okay, so we're just going to reflect a bit about the meaning of deism. I mean, the concept of deism. Now, linguistically, deism just means a belief in God. Linguistically, deism just means belief in God. Because God in Latin deus, and ism is ism. But when we say deist in English, it means a specific type of believer in God. So for example, according to Cambridge Dictionary, deist is someone who believes in a single God, one God, who created the world. So it must be deism. You won't find deism in Greece, for example, because they don't have any concept of creation. So it's a post-Christian and Christian view. So single God who created him, but does not act to influence events. So he created the world and made its laws, and then world just goes on according to those laws. So in that sense, deist is someone who believe in clockmaker, universe maker, God as well. But that's the linguistic meaning. Now, in philosophy, when we call deism, we mean something more specific, which is in a way close to this, but not necessarily. I mean, it's more than that. In philosophy, deism means a belief in God which is based on reason, a particular type of reason, independent reason, or self-sufficient reason. So, if in I think this is Oxford Dictionary philosophy, it said that philosophical belief in a God established by reason and evidence. notably by the design argument without acceptance of special information supposedly revealed in, for example, the Bible or Quran. So basically, deism mean a belief in God based on reason alone, and it's also predominantly involves rejection of revelation or denial that revelation can be evidence for belief in God. So that's why deism is also called natural religion. So apparently there is transcendent religion, let's say, like Islam and Christianity, Judaism, I guess, which are based on revelation, and natural religion, which is based on reason. Now, natural religion may or may not agree with divine or transcendent religion. But in the context of Enlightenment and 18th century philosophy, basically natural religion emerged in opposition to the traditional transcendent religions based on revelation. So basically, it said that religion based on revelation is religion based without evidence and without evidence and without reason, and that's why it's merely acceptance of belief without reason or belief based on authority, and that should be rejected, and we should base religion on reason alone, and that's why it's called natural religion as well. But not all deists were anti-Christians, for example, like in principle. So as a deist, you can say that I believe in natural religion based on reason, but I also believe in Christianity based on revelation, because my reason takes me to the same religion, so natural religion. So Christianity can be proved through reason as well. So reason arrives at the same conclusion which Christianity arrives through revelation. So that's not a new um, view. I mean, even Aquinas was, to a certain extent, a believer in natural religion, who believed that through natural religion we can prove the same doctrine, if not all of Christian doctrines. Although the context is totally different, the context of natural religion and deism in the 18th century. The context is Enlightenment, anti-Christian, modernism, etc. Okay. So to say that deism is a philosophical belief in God based on reason and evidence. So here you are equating reason with evidence. And except for those people who believe that, reason teaches the same religion which Christianity teaches us through revelation, most of the believers in deism or natural religion, they believe that the traditional religions are not based on reason, because they are based in revelation, and revelation basically is an inspiration. It's not something which is related to reason. But for example, in Islamic theology as well as Ilm al-Kalam and Christian theology, dogmatic theology or philosophical theology as well, it's not necessary for them to accept this claim, because what Ilm al-Kalam and Christian theology says is that revelation, through revelation we get divine religion, whether Islam or Christian, because reason cannot reach uh, those truths. They are not against reason, but they are beyond reason. And but that doesn't mean that divine religion is um, not based in evidence, because you can prove that, for example, on the basis of reason, the need for revelation. First, need for revelation. Second, that this particular revelation is trustworthy because of various reasons, because of miracles, because of the character of the people, etc., etc. So they, although divine religion come from revelation and its need is then established through evidence and reason. And once revelation is proved to be a trustworthy source, then it itself become an evidence in turn. Okay, so the last point in this context is that many people who said that natural religion is based on reason. So God reveals himself only through reason. He doesn't reveal himself through revelation. And through its nature. Nature is God's book as well. And that book is more trustworthy than as compared to Bible, because Bible has been corrupted, or Quran. They would say anyway. And because they are, not based in evidence. And there are many corollaries of this belief. And one was, for example, the belief in clock maker, God. The other is that although God is a creator, and he has created universe and established laws and processes, for example, gravitational laws. God does not respond to prayer or human need. Prayers and human needs should be addressed to reason. I guess that's why some Enlightenment people in France erected the statues of reason and worshipped reason as a goddess. So you don't pray to God, you just, and because God doesn't reveal himself to humans, it reveals itself in reason alone. And from that, it was not far fetched to claim that God is reason, basically. Yeah. And final thing about um, final thing, final thing, final point, I guess. From an Islamic point of view, I think there's no dichotomy between these two things, because we can know God through our senses and eyes, and our reason, because La tudrikul absar, because God is beyond our capacities. Similarly, we can't know God through analogy to anything else, through exemplars, because he has no example. Let's say kamislihi shay. So the only way to know God is what we call athar. And athar mean traces, traces of God's work. Through his signs, ayat, and symbols. And it's no coincidence that Quranic verses are actually in Arabic called ayat, or singular is ayah, sign. But God has two types of signs. His seen signs, al-ayat al-manzura, which is universe, cosmos, our own self, etc. And the other signs he has are written signs. Al-ayat al-mastura, ittah, satr in Arabic means line, and in Urdu and Persian it means line, but satr means to write as well. So God has two types of signs, written signs and seen signs. And these two are complementary. They complement each other. In the sense that through his written signs like Quran, we get the knowledge which is not available through or cannot be deciphered easily through his seen signs, through his universe. But then through his universe, through his cosmological science, through his science in our microcosm as well as in macrocosm, actually testify to what his written signs reveal actually. So that's why in Quran says, "Sanurihim ayatina fil afaqi wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haq." We will show them our signs in cosmos as well as in their own selves through the development of cosmological knowledge as well as psychological and social knowledge, that this Quran, al-Haq, this Quran is the truth. So the reason through the written signs of, the seen signs of God through universe actually testifies to the truth of his written signs, which are his books throughout the history. And as time goes on, it will become more clear. The truth of Quran and truth of the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so I think we should stop here, but we'll continue on this topic, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. صلى وسلم على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. آمين آمين يا رب.